have another shocker for you. A godly marriage. Church cannot tell you what this is because, as you can see, if they would know, you wouldn't have at least a 50% divorce rate in church. That's at least as equal as the regular effing sinners on the street. You know, the church purports itself as somehow they have the answer. They put it on the side of their cars. They say Jesus is the answer. 10 Commandments is the answer. If you do all this, guess what? They don't do anything better than the regular common sinner on the street. If you go to Vegas, the sinner's capital, they probably have a better handle on things than the church does. They're wandering in the dark, just like Jesus said. You guys are blind, leading the blind. And you say, well, Jesus wasn't talking to the church. He was talking to the temple people. Well, what do you think a temple is? It's church. It's a direct copy. They just changed the name. Just like Paul. Paul, the frickin' self-appointed apostle. Yes, he's Saul of Tarsus, a.k.a. Paul of, I don't know, whatever his name was after that. The chameleon, Paul the chameleon. Yes. What changed his name? Who AKAs? Thieves, robbers, deceivers use AKAs. Do you go around with a legal name and then you have your AKA name? No, you don't. That's because you're a normal person. Paul, Saul of Tarsus, is not a normal person. He's a deceiver, a chameleon. And even him can't even tell you how to do stuff. But, okay, so he did say that wives obey your husband. But the church has no clue. What does that mean? What exactly does it mean? If your husband tells you, if you're a wife and your husband tells you, hey, jump off the edge of the cliff, does that mean you have to obey your husband? Yes, no, maybe so. So what exactly does it mean? Aha! That's what I am here for. I will show you a perfect picture of a godly marriage. If you employ this formula, in your marriage, guess what? Guess what? It will succeed. Yes, it will. Now, there is a formula. There is males are built in a certain way, and females are built in a other different way. And there's certain ways for each one. The husband and the wife has different roles. When the feminists say, oh, a woman can do whatever a man does. No, it can't. A woman cannot do what a man does because a woman is built in a special womanly way. Therefore, whoop, they can make babies, whereas males, they're built in a different special form where they cannot whoop, make babies. So therefore, right off the bat, any imbecile in the freaking universe will tell you that a woman is built one way and a man is built in a different way, and therefore they are not the same. So if you try to say that they're the same, then you failure. Yes, just one. Do you know that male's vision is focused this way? You can call it tunnel vision, but it's not tunnel vision. Their focus is right here. Whereas women, they cannot focus because their vision is not built that way. Women's peripheral vision is better than a male's version because just from basic biology is males look out for threats and they can focus on one spot so they can spot the threats. Whereas women are gatherers and they bend down so they see the threat from the side of their eyes because they're looking for gathering crap on the ground. So they're not designed. That's why that helicopter that crashed in Washington D.C. area. That they crashed into an airliner. Well, the lady, she was wearing goggles, night vision goggles at the time. Well, she's not designed to concentrate on that thing. She cannot see. It's like taking a horse and you put those blinders. They do those blinders on purpose, is to to because the horses, they have two types of vision. They have forward vision and they have side vision. So what happens is, the reason they get antsy and they jump around when they got like people around them is because they try to shift their focus from the forward focus to the side vision, and they don't know, and starts confusing them, and they go cuckoo and they start stomping on people and running around. That's what happens. Well, it's the same thing with the woman that was wearing those goggles. She is not designed to see through those night vision goggles. She cannot see, so therefore the brains are blah, 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 and they start doing confusing crap. That's what happens when you put a male in a different version, in a different job than they're not designed to. Then they're not going to operate properly. And a woman, if you put her in a different job description that she's designed for, she doesn't operate properly. So everybody's got to be in their proper place. Then everything works perfect, and the marriage goes forward and succeeds till the end of life. Let not man put it asunder. Okay? Well, how come you got divorced? Even Paul couldn't figure that one out, because if they're not equally yoked, then you can cut the. Well, hey, that does let not put it asunder. Where even Jesus said there's no divorce, and they go, well, wait a minute, we got it in our laws. I say, yes, Moses put that crap in your laws because of your freaking stupid hearts, your stupid church hearts, your stupid temple hearts. Yeah, so he put that little thing over there because you guys are freaking retarded. That's what Jesus said. But no, let men not put it asunder. Perfect picture. I will give it to you right now. Stop everything what you're doing. Listen, because this is going to go by very quick. The X-Files. The X-Files. Do you remember this guy called Fox Mulder and Dana Scully? Yes, that's the perfect picture of a marriage. A marriage. You see? Have you ever seen it? Now, true. Yes, they weren't married technically on screen. And you say, well, they only lasted 9 years because they were like, 9 years in syndication, in prime time. They only had 9 seasons. Well, if you watch the whole thing, because you do it now, and you can binge it on whoever carries the X-Files, Hulu or whatever your favorite crap is on that streaming video crap. That 9 years are like 900 years. I mean, think how many times Mulder died. Think how many times Scully died. Apparently, she can't die. She's like everlasting. She doesn't die. That's the folklore of the X-Files. But I'm digressing from what I'm supposed to be doing. What we're talking about is a perfect picture of a perfect godly marriage. Okay, now if you study the X-Files from the beginning to end, you will see that Scully. Okay, before I go on, there's a joke in church, because they say that just like Christ is the head of the church, so is the husband the head of the wife. Well, in the Christian circles, there's a running joke that they say, oh, the man is the head of the wife, but the wife is the neck of the husband. So therefore, the wife is still the leader. You see how evil the church is. The Satan has infiltrated even in church, even the godly women and the godly people that are supposed to be godly. They say, oh, the man is the man, the husband is the head of the wife, but The wife is the neck, so she's still in control of the way the head moves. No, that's poo poo. That's why it's all failure, and you guys got divorce rates up the wazoo in frickin' church because you don't do it right. I will tell you. I will tell you. No, Mulder is the head of the X Files. Do you see Dana Scully ever trying to be the head? Did she say, okay, Mulder, move out of here. These are my files now. Give me the file drawer. I'm pulling out and choosing which one. No, from the beginning till the end, Fox Mulder was in charge of all the stinking X-Files. All the stinking X-Files. You say, what about season 8 where Mulder freaking left and there was no Mulder and it was only Scully? If you look at season 8, even then, Scully was working under the authority of Fox Mulder. They were always talking about what Fox Mulder would do. So that gives you a template of how a perfect marriage should be. You have the captain of the ship, which is the husband. Then you have the support crew, which is the wife that supports the captain. Doesn't try to guide the captain, doesn't try to undermine the captain, doesn't try to replace the captain. No, Scully never tried to upset Mulder from his job, which was to be the freaking fort runner and the freaking guy with the spear that did the freaking X-Files. That was Mulder, and Scully never tried to upset the guy. Her job was to support whatever Fox was trying to do. That's what her job was, and that's the reason it lasted even to today. Today, you still, right now, you still have the tried and tested, the lone gunman who they freaking to the end. No, yes, yes. Fox Mulder and Dana Scully go down in history as the best dynamic duo in history. But that's what it was, is because that's a perfect picture of a godly marriage. By the way, if you watch the whole thing from beginning to end, just the 9th season, the rest is all garbage. 10 and 11 is just some kind of money grab, because they were even just like, why do we got to do this? But if you watch it, that's actually a description of the Bible. See, Fox Mulder, okay, this is bonus. Fox Mulder and Scully and the child is supposed to be Jesus. Scully's supposed to be Mother Mary, and Fox Mulder is supposed to be Joseph of Arimathea, which is the father of Jesus. I don't know about the because they never discuss it, but even in the Bible they don't discuss it. So it's all so it's the same way with the X-Files, but that's what you see. It's all talking about now. Here's more bonus, since you came this far and you listened to me ramble on about the X-Files and a perfect marriage, perfect picture of a godly marriage. The virus that they talk about in X-Files, the virus that infects the humans is not in the future. It's talking about the past. The virus that changes humans into hybridization already has happened. It's called the anointment. The anointment in the Bible, what it's talking about, being anointed with oil, it's what it's in the X-Files talking about. The oil, the submarine, they get in there and people get anointed with it, and all of a sudden they're under control of the virus oil. That's what the anointment is, because when people were anointed by God, they would have a different purpose in life, and they would operate like robots for God. That's what it was. That's from the past. It's what infiltrated the monkeys. You know, the monkeys, the baboons, the primates were supposed to be like, get the fruit from the trees, get the fruit from the trees. That's what you're supposed to be, a monkey. That's what this body's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a monkey. And you know, we're not monkeys. We're built in the image of God. Hold on, I got a freaking answer for that one too, because I'm full of answers. Um, but that's what it did. The oil, the anointment changed the monkeys to human, because human is the only animal on the planet that has demon put inside. Yes, the spirit of God, because you know, we go to church, they go, oh, man is made of body, soul, and spirit. Well, the spirit is the freaking demon inserted. It's that freaking anointment, is that special oil that you see in the X-Files that takes over the body of the freaking baboon human and makes it into a freaking child of God. Yes, because you have animals have body and soul, just like you, but human is the only one that has a third freaking leg on it. That's called the spirit of God, which is the demon of God, because in Greek, spirit means demon. So in church, they say, oh, it's a spirit. Well, it's a demon, damn it. Okay? So that's what it is. That's what the oil is. The anointment is the anointment of God putting in a demon inside the human body, which has the monkey body, which has the body and the soul. So, but human animals don't have a soul, a spirit. They don't have a demon. That's why they're beautiful. That's why you can kiss them and love them, because they don't have demon. Whereas a human, yeah, you kiss them and love them, and you go, I got a knife. I'm gonna stab you in the back if you do some shit. That's what it's all about. And you say, well, no, we're not monkeys. Okay, since we're talking about marriage, do you know why when humans orgasm, their toes curl? Okay, children, I hope you guys learned something like in biology. Do you know why they curl their toes? Is so you don't fall out of the fucking tree. That's why your toes curl when you're. So don't tell me you're not a monkey. You weren't built a monkey. You're in the image of God. If you're in the image of God, how come you're curling your toes when you're orgasming? So you don't fall out of the stupid tree, damn it. Okay, so that's the image, baby. So I'm gone. Already 17 minutes. Goodbye. See you next time when God speaks to me to speak to y'all.